June 6th, 1944. Before the sun had even risen, thousands of ships were already moving silently across the sea. Above them, in the dark sky, planes roared as soldiers prepared to jump, not knowing what waited below. Within a few hours, the world would witness the largest invasion in human history. This was D-Day, the day that changed the course of World War II forever. To understand D-Day, we need to step back for a moment. It began in 1939, when Germany started expanding aggressively across Europe. At the center of it all was a man determined to dominate the continent. By 1940, much of Europe had already fallen. Countries like France, Poland, and Belgium were under German control. Britain stood almost alone, holding its ground, but under constant threat. Meanwhile, the Allied forces, mainly the United States and Britain, knew something had to change. They couldn't win the war by staying defensive. They needed a way back into Europe, and France was the key. If they could take France back, they could push deeper into German territory and begin to break Hitler's control. So, they started planning something massive, something the world had never seen before. The operation was given a name, Operation Overlord. It wasn't just another mission, it was the largest military invasion ever planned. Leading this enormous effort but winning this battle wasn't just about strength, it was about strategy. And that's where one of the smartest moves came in. The Allies created a deception plan called Operation Bodyguard. Its purpose was simple: trick Germany. They made it look like the invasion would happen somewhere else, not Normandy. Fake tanks were set up, fake camps were built, even fake radio messages were sent out. Everything was designed to mislead the German forces, and it worked. Hitler and his commanders believed the attack would come from a different location, so they positioned their troops accordingly. Without realizing it, they had already weakened their own defense. Then came the moment, June 6th, 1944. The operation began in the dead of night. Airborne troops were the first to go in. They jumped out of planes, landing deep inside enemy territory. Their mission was dangerous: disrupt German defenses, secure key positions, and prepare the way for the main invasion. A few hours later, as dawn approached, the real assault began. Thousands of soldiers moved toward 5 beaches along the Normandy coast: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. Each beach had its own challenges, but one stood out above the rest: Omaha Beach. This was where the resistance was strongest. German soldiers were ready, waiting in bunkers, armed with machine guns, overlooking the shore. As Allied troops approached, the silence broke. Gunfire erupted. The moment soldiers stepped off their boats, they were met with relentless fire. Many didn't even make it to the shore. It was chaos. It was brutal. It was one of the most intense moments in military history, and yet they kept moving forward, step by step, through fear, through loss. They pushed ahead. Nothing about D-Day was easy. The German defenses were strong, well prepared, and deadly. On top of that, the weather made everything worse. Rough seas made landings difficult. Waves knocked soldiers off balance. Equipment was lost in the water. Plans didn't always go as expected, and the cost was heavy. In just a single day, thousands of soldiers were killed or injured. But even in the middle of all that chaos, something remarkable happened. They didn't stop. They didn't turn back. Slowly, against all odds, they began to break through the German lines. Once the Allies secured their position in Normandy, everything started to change. This was the beginning of the liberation of France. From that point on, Allied forces pushed deeper into occupied territory. City by city, step by step, they reclaimed what had been lost. Eventually, Paris was freed, and from there, it was only a matter of time before Germany began to collapse. D-Day didn't end the war immediately, but it made the end possible. It marked the turning point, the moment when the balance finally shifted. D-Day was more than just a military operation. It was a story of courage, of sacrifice, and of determination. Thousands of people gave their lives for something bigger than themselves, for freedom, for a future they might never see. And that's why, even today, it is remembered as one of the most important days in modern history. If you found this story powerful, make sure to subscribe and let me know what you'd like to explore next.